Morning, good evening, wherever you are in the world, 40-something gamers. Me and my best friend since 1994, Sharon Harrington, two Gen Xers who love to play video games. So we talk about our favorite subjects, pop culture and video games. We have a special guest that was previously on my Deeper Than Music with Marquivas podcast. We have Orphan Prodigy. Hey, how you doing, man?
Good, man. How are you?
Doing pretty good. And before we get started, we just talked about it and I forgot about it and I saw the footage. Rest in peace. Sorry, I can't even remember his name.
Yeah, Vincent Pella.
Vincent Pella. Was it Modern Warfare?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he did Modern Warfare. He actually was on the teams that did the original Call of Duty up through Modern Warfare 2 on the 360 and up to 2009. And then due to internal conflicts within the studio, they weren't like paying him. There was some contractual stuff. And he and Jason West, who were the main kind of brains behind those games, left, formed another company called Respawn Entertainment. Then now, full circle, Vincent Pella was leading Battlefield Studios, and Battlefield 6 has obviously been a runaway success in terms of that. So it's just a tragic loss all around. I mean, it really hit me personally deeply because I really think he was a visionary.
Yeah. And it was one of those... But I'm sorry.
If you guys remember GoldenEye and the N64, I mean, that was like, the first pivotal, like, first-person FPS experience, and then Modern Warfare came along, and that was kind of like the GoldenEye of the 2000s,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my feeling about it.
Did he work on that game?
Yes,
the
he was
game?
like,
He
yes.
did work on
No,
okay.
not GoldenEye. Sorry, just Modern Warfare.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Modern Warfare was a good game.
Yeah, and it's crazy, man, with the technology, because I saw the video, and afterwards I didn't realize, but I'm like, man, that's, definitely a tragic loss.
Yeah.
I do want to say I'm finally online for Christmas. I don't know how you guys' Christmas was, but I got the Switch 2, and then me and Sharon, he's been trying to convince me to get to the Switch 2 for a while.
Yeah.
Finally got it, and we were playing that new Avengers game. Oh my goodness.
Marvel
Oh, it's
Cosmic
multiplayer?
Invasion. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and it's an online player too. It pays homage to the 1990s. What was it? X-Men game.
Yeah.
What was the name of it?
X-Men. It's just called X-Men.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, it also plays homage to, let's say, like Ninja Turtles, the Konami era of arcade games. It does that, like Simpsons, just the side scroller, beat 'em up. And you could play, I want to say, up to maybe 6 people
Nice.
online. Yeah, it's a good game. I didn't finish it,
Nice.
but got to get back in that.
Yeah, so it's kind of like with Shredder's Revenge,
Yeah,
the
exactly.
updated Streets of Rage. So yeah, man.
I hope those guys continue. Like the .mu, how do you say it? But I mean, I know they got the Masters of the Universe that's coming out pretty soon. I'm looking forward to that. But yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
And,
that's dope.
So me and Prodigy Arrow were talking. So I was like, man, I was up till like 4 in the morning, and then he said he was up till 5 playing Modern Warfare.
Yeah, I was playing Battlefield with the
Battlefield.
band, and we were playing with the fans and stuff. And it's it's just a great game. Just kind of feels, it has that like Call of Duty DNA because Vincent Pella was behind it,
Mm-hmm.
and you could just feel all the just it's just very snappy. It feels like Battlefield, but it also feels like Call of Duty at the same time. So it's really nice.
Nah,
Because Black Ops 7 has been just bad.
heard about that. Now, see, I
It's
would
been
tell you,
bad.
I started with Black Ops, like the original Black Ops, the one that had Ice Cube. That's what
Yeah.
got me into Call of Duty, and I think that I played Modern Warfare Part 2 and Part 3 or something like that.
Yeah,
There was like one of them where you were in an airport, and you
yeah,
had
that
to
was
walk
2.
around.
That was
2.
yeah.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
that was a good game. And then I did the one after, which was relatively short.
Mhm.
I noticed. But
Yeah.
and after that, there's been a couple of Modern Warfare games that I played, but I don't know. After the one that took place, I want to say like in the late 70s, 80s, around the Cold War era, I never finished it, but that's kind of like where I stopped.
So I don't know how you feel, Orphan Prodigy. I can't do it no more, man. I'm probably after this show gonna go ahead and take a nap, man. I can't do like I was when I was a kid.
It
Man.
hurts to stay
Yeah.
awake and be underslept, man. It
Oh
hurts.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like hurting right now. So Orphan Prodigy, man, what was your first question. Team Mario or Team Sonic?
Oh man, I had both. First I had Super Nintendo. Super Nintendo Mario. That was, man, that's a tough one. I mean, I think overall I'm gonna be Mario because you got Super Mario World, and then you got Mario 64, which is classic, changed the game forever. But yeah, so I guess I'm Team Mario. I think. Yeah.
It's kind of like all over the place. What was your very first console?
Yes, Super Nintendo, Super Mario World, and then I got a Sega with Sonic. Actually, Sonic, and that was a really fun time. But actually, there was a game called Shinobi.
Mhm.
I think it was Shinobi 3. I think it was, and that was that. I have it on my 360, but like I don't. For some reason, they won't allow you to play the disc on the console. It's some rights issue or something.
Wow.
But it's like, again, that was like one of my favorite games, just like a side scroller dungeon crawler kind of thing. But what was the question?
Oh, so you guys are your first console, but yeah. So
Yes.
they actually did a remake of Shinobi that we actually just got too. It's
How is it? I haven't played it yet.
it's cool, but it's very it's like art. It's like cartoony. It's not
Arty, right?
pixelated. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Does it feel like the kind of classic game, or does it have more of like fast fluidity, sort of modern take?
I'd say a mixture of both.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you know what, like I told Mark, it looks like a game that you play on a mobile device.
Right.
It has that distinctive look, but it's still, I've only played the demo, because I bought the Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, which is like the other side of Shinobi for me. And once again, it has the pixelation look that we're used to
Right.
from the 8/16-bit era. But Shinobi looks like more mobile, and that's not to take away from it. It's still a good game. It just has the more mobile look.
Yeah, it's funny, and it's funny because there are certain like decisions like that. We talk about the art styles and the 16-bit versus but it's very small decisions like that can either take you out of it or put you right into it.
Right.
And like it's about striking that balance,
Yeah.
just right. And because I saw some footage of the game, and I was like, I
Hmm.
was kind of on the fence about it, but I got to download the demo and check it out.
Yeah, and that was the different. We were talking about Shinobi and we were talking about Ninja Gaiden. We like
Hmm.
Ninja Gaiden because of the pixelation, and then like Sharon said, to me, it's a little too cartoony. I mean, it's still a fun game. There's still the elements, but yeah, like you said, that factor was like, I got
Uh,
them both, and I
yeah.
like the pixelation and kind of the old school retro look.
But
Right. Right.
what also turns into an overall decider for me in games like that is the soundtrack. If
Yes.
it, if, I mean,
Yes.
if it has a smoking hot soundtrack, I'm in. I'm gonna make it to the next level just to see what the next groove is gonna be. And
Exactly.
Shinobi and Ninja Gaiden have always had good music. So, like I say, I am gonna go past the demo and I'm gonna eventually get the entire game. But yes,
And then you mentioned with Shinobi 3, man. Shinobi 3 had a good soundtrack. You
yeah,
had the
Oh, yeah.
horses. You had the thing with the when you're on the like the water ski.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
That, and then there was
yeah.
another one that's like such a funky groove. It was like after
The
all the levels you
elevator.
just mentioned. It's the elevator, but it was after that. It was after that big brain boss thing. I don't know. It was just like you were kind of just walking around like this sort of it was like rainy kind of refinery area, and I have the groove. I once tried to like recreate it once.
Yeah.
I can't remember. No, it was literally called Shinobi Walk.
Oh, I know what you're
That's
talking about. Yeah.
That groove is just so funky. It's you should check it out. It's
I know.
such a groovy track.
Man, look, I listen to music on Spotify.
Yeah. Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, FPS games, third person right now. I'm trying, it's between Battlefield and, Call of Duty is in such a bad state right now, I think. But that was my go-to for since 2019. 2019 is when I really, really got good at the game. Everybody's like, get good. Like I didn't really care. I played every title up until that point, but then in 2019, when Modern Warfare they did the reboot of it and COVID hit, I really got into it. But yeah, first person shooters, right now I'm playing Battlefield 6 a lot, and then I'm also playing Arc Raiders, which is a third person extraction, which has been fun too. But yeah, that one's been another runaway success. No one saw that one coming.
And you said Call of Duty's in disarray right now, or?
Yeah, the direction of it. I mean, they even came like a couple of days ago, and I love Call of Duty. I only say this because I love it so much. It's no shade to them. I just think they're kind of lost in terms of development. They've got 3 studios doing games annually. I think that's part of the problem. Just like quantity over quality. And then you've got this kind of like, they're throwing, listen, we all grew up with like Beavis and Butthead and stuff, but you don't want to see that in Call of Duty.
They put that in there?
Yeah, man.
Good as that.
You're seeing cell shaded characters amidst what's supposed to be an immersive environment, right? Like who it takes you right out, as much as you might love Nicki Minaj and stuff. Do you really want to see Nicki Minaj running around in Call of Duty? Like
No.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, Snoop Dogg, I'll give him a pass because he's just he's so funny, but like, you get my point though, right? Like there's an immersion factor that is broken and lost, especially when you're talking about Modern Warfare, like you don't want to see, Beavis and Butthead.
They're making it too comical.
Yeah, they're making it's a parody of itself,
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I can see like you're in an immersive world and you're like, wait a minute, hold up. This is Modern Warfare and you got Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah, it just doesn't track, man. It doesn't track.
Wow. And so in your opinion, what makes a good shooter?
So I think Modern Warfare 2019 was probably just like a lightning in a bottle. You check that game out, I think the studio behind it, which is Infinity Ward, which is what Vincent Pella, that was Vincent Pella's studio before he left. But they pay such attention to detail. They're going in with a technology called photogrammetry, which basically you scan environments and you take like 1 million pictures with a camera, and then you import that into the dev kit software, and then you're building the game, and you're generating that terrain as you see it in the real world, and then you're doing that with objects and clothing and all these things and guns, and obviously the guns themselves. It's all photorealistic, and just being able to do that and being nerdy about it. Like, they're such a nerd studios. They're like self-admitted nerds about like how they handle the development of a game, and like from like how many particles eject from the gun smoke. It's just like the whole thing. They're just so detail oriented, and I think that's what makes for a great game. It's just like having a great narrative, having a great immersive environment, and just wanting to be in that environment, essentially.
Yeah. So making it like realistic, doing their research and making sure you're in that's cool, man. I didn't know. I mean, I know now from when we were younger, like video games are like a big production now.
Yes.
Yeah. They're making more than the movies.
Billions. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's insane.
Because
Now you
sometimes
get to live it.
Yeah, sometimes I find myself actually just watching the game, like watching the storyline.
Right.
Like, it's time for me to play.
It's so funny, like when we, you talk about that, like it reminds me of like when I play Mortal Kombat. Like I'm literally just playing the matches just to see the cutscenes. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Man.
And then like we mentioned back to the Shinobi, do have the cutscenes are in there as well.
Yeah.
So, what do you think was the greatest console now? Or like, what is the top console on your list that's like the greatest so far?
I think what started it off for me, the greatest, like in terms of like where it starts for me, I think is the N64. You had 4 ports, you had, 4-player split screen. I think that's where it starts. I think Xbox took that model and sort of, brought it into the future. So I think overall, I think Xbox for me, just in terms of how they handled it and how they handle Game Pass now and all that stuff. Forgetting the price for a minute because that's the whole debate. But because they just jacked up the price, and that's not cool. But you do get games day one and stuff. But it does keep that whole like kind of community factor alive. Forgetting how like there's all these chat bans and things going on. Like I should be able to play Call of Duty and like you hear the characters' voice lines cursing and stuff. But then if I curse or if I type something negative, just to hang out with my friends and stuff, I get banned. Like that's not cool.
No.
That's hypocrisy at its peak.
Yeah.
Right.
And actually, man, you bring up a good point. I got sucked into this rabbit hole. Do you guys remember the Sega Channel? They tried to have the Sega Channel.
Yeah,
So I got sucked into the Sega Channel. There was like a whole documentary on the Sega Channel. And I was just like, wow, that was ahead of its time. They didn't do it right. And I want to say one game that I always wanted to play and I look at is Phantasy Star Online on the Dreamcast. And now look at where we are now with, gaming online. Actually, one of me and my coworkers, we were talking about sometimes I take games and I put it on an offline mode because I don't want to be online. And then I had bought a game called The Crew. It's like a racing game at this store called the Unlimited Run. And this was like a Xbox 360 old school game, but the server is down. So I bought the game. I have a nice box disc. And it's like crazy how immersive we are now. My next question, physical over digital, which one do you prefer?
That's tough. I mean, Sharon, you want to
All right. Well, I like different ones for different reasons. The thing about physicals, I always will love physical because you get to hold it in your hand, it exists, whereas a digital, there's it's basically a download to your machine or whatever, whether it be music, movies, or whatever. I'll always like physical because I can always like take the box and like I can open it and look in it. It's kind of look at the cool pictures of like whatever they've written. Like if they even do that with games now. I know a lot of times like with the Nintendo Switch, there's really no booklet that comes with anything anymore. So
yeah,
it's like that can almost I mean I guess one of the things about with digital games, you always have to have that memory on your machine. Whereas with a physical, you don't have to have that. You just kind of take it off or just put it back on as you choose to see fit. But with digital, it was kind of have like that space. Like you better have like so much gig data, otherwise you're not gonna be able to download it. But at the same time, it doesn't take up any physical space and you're on your shelf or anything. So, pros and cons. I like both for different reasons.
Yeah.
Also, with the digital, physical you could take with you also, but digital can be a bit more convenient at times.
I just feel like that shelf of games, that was like bragging rights. I got all this right here.
Yeah, but like when you open up your game menu and they see all those games, it's just kind of like, whoa, you got all these games, So same thing in a different manner.
I'm kind of in the middle. I think, I've always like when I like for my music stuff, we still print physical copies and stuff, but like
good.
So I enjoy like Marquivas, you brought up a point about having that physical just like stuff to look at and stuff, and I think that's an important thing. Like, and I do miss that, like opening an album, reading lyrics, having like this whole immersive world. But now that like everybody's kind of a celebrity, everybody has an Instagram, everybody and their mother has an Instagram, everybody, has a YouTube channel, streaming and stuff. There's not really this like drive within me to have that sort of like there's no mystery anymore. Everything's been stripped away.
Yeah.
So taking that concept into the physical media and digital media realm, applying that concept there, I just look at the convenience factor, for digital. Yes, I do. I open my drawer occasionally and I have my old games and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, that was a cool time. But I don't find myself getting super nostalgic anymore about it. I'm kind of just like, let's play. Let's play. Let's play the game. Let's load it up, let's go. So I'm kind of in the middle. I have the memories, I have the good memories, but I'm also living in the now, and it's,
it's like, like
strange.
you said, the convenience factor. Like I have this, This thing is called the Sega Saturn Saru. So this thing you put in the back where they have the memory, it's like a cartridge thing they would have in the back of the Sega Saturn. 250 games, 250 games for convenience. But the cool thing is they have like uh the Sega Saturn games with like Japanese, but they have the cartridge with the Japanese art and stuff like that. But like you said, for the convenience factor, like ain't no way in the world I'm gonna have 250 like CD cases and stuff like
Right,
that.
right, exactly.
Um, and then one thing that I researched is like with some games, you're just buying the license. You're not
Yes,
actually
I was going
buying
to
the
bring that up.
game.
I was going to bring that up too.
And I think there didn't Nintendo do something weird or something? I heard some like controversy about Nintendo.
I think you're right. I don't know which console it was for specifically, but I will tell you that Xbox did it with the launch of the Xbox One, and it was called, DRM. So basically, you have to be connected to the internet at all times so that they can read the licenses. And then there was so much, kickback from that they ended up reverting the policy. But now, fast forward to 2025, you do have to have, even if you have the disc is just a license. There's no actual media on it. Like
Yeah.
if you put the disc into your computer and you actually have the ability to look into the files, you'll see nothing there. It's literally just a license. And
That's
and,
wild.
and as Sharon said before, like you're not, you're buying a box, but like there's no booklet that has cool lore in it or
Yeah.
anything, or even like a tutorial about how to play the game. There's nothing in there. It's like maybe some key art for the game, but that's it on the top, just the cover art.
Do you
Yeah.
guys remember like back in the day you would go to school and like, yeah, I got this new game and you look, especially with Zelda, you're reading up on stuff
Hmm.
and doing
Yeah.
research.
Game guides, like they would sell game guides. Like there
Yeah.
was a whole business
Man,
around
look,
that.
I remember like we used to bring the Nintendo Power magazine or whatever it was to school, and
Yeah.
you'd have it on your desk, and all your homeboys and homegirls, they'd be all gathered around your desk, like looking at the pages. You'd be like, "Ooh, look at that!" And you see the upcoming games, like, "Hey, that's a Super Nintendo that's coming out this fall,"
Yeah.
and you'd be excited and everything. The excitement is gone.
Yeah.
You
The
used
excitement is gone.
and I hate to say that because I love video games, and I mean I still get excited to play, but it's just like that excitement that will pump your blood pressure up to like
You're right.
you would get racing like you was excited to see this stuff, and you would walk in the stores and there would be like the kiosk with the Sega or the Super Nintendo or even a Toys R Us, and you would just see the game playing, and you just got that level of excitement that's just not there anymore. And
Yeah.
it's unfortunate, you know. But I mean, I can honestly say for me, I'd rather have lived in the time when it happened to not lived in the time where it happened at all. So, and that's what I think that's
Totally
what the
agree.
nostalgia plays in. And that goes also to say like with like the music and the movies too.
Right.
I'm glad I got to see the 80s. You know,
Yeah.
Right.
Because we talk about like I know you guys are paying attention to that Netflix, the
yeah,
whole
the
merger
merger.
thing.
Yeah.
And it's like one of the questions was movie theaters. What's going to be the fate of movie theaters? Because like you said, with convenience, well, I could just watch this in the comfort of my own home, get it digitally.
With a better
Yeah,
sound system,
Yeah,
with an OLED TV,
yeah.
just no
Well,
nobody has a cold.
I mean, the thing about the movie theaters, because I love going to the movies, and you're right, because at home you have like you could pause the movie, better sound system in some cases. But overall, it's like the size of that picture. You go and you watch it in 3D, and now they have like the 4DX, and then they have the the moving chairs, to kind of immerse you into the movie
Reclining,
more.
yeah. Oh
Yeah, you
yeah,
got the
yeah.
recline, but what's it called? The D
Yeah, you're right,
box.
40X. Yeah.
So there's always things that's gonna kind of keep you in the theater, but I don't think that the days I think the days of Blockbuster are really gone.
Yeah, for sure.
Unfortunately, they'll still make great movies, good blockbuster style movies, but because we have so much in our house, like when Jurassic Park came out, nobody had that set up.
Yeah.
People were just getting surround sound, so you had to go there, to see the dinosaurs. And like now, like I say, I wouldn't watch Avatar in 3D just the other day, and I was like really wowed by it. And the only way you'll ever really get to see that is if you see it there, unless you have like a $1 million setup in your home and with that technology. But other than that,
Right.
you're not going to get that on at home like on a regular TV.
because like
Yeah.
one of my worries is, and luckily, I think with the Wii, they had the arcade and the downloads that you have. You download them, you have them.
Yeah,
But then now that we're so immersive, heaven forbid, one of the big gaming companies is gone. Like for me, when I bought the Crew, and it's like, oh, the service shut down. I can't even play the game. Then I'm like, wow, what's the fate of my other digital games? Say if one of these big companies are null and void.
Yeah, and even if the big company doesn't come in, what is the lifespan of the game by default? Like,
Yeah,
at what point does somebody on the board of that, of that studio or that publisher say, this game isn't making any money, let's shut down and move on to the next title, let's shut down all the servers anyway,
yeah,
even without a buyout, so there is that risk of not having physical media. To Sharon's point, there is an expiration date because there's
yes,
no data on that disk anymore. And it is just a license to access that server that then gives you the game or access to the game. And it is a shame. So there is kind of like this big trade off
yeah.
that we're not in control of.
Now, now with that also being said, that are like strictly online games, right? Like you have to actually play this game on the server because I mean, I buy a lot of games that, I buy them online, but I don't play online. Like, I say like an arcade title, like Double Dragon, like back in the day, I'll buy that online, but I'm assuming as long as they, I mean, I don't know. You don't necessarily play that one online, like the game like the one that you were just talking about, Mark, that you bought that's no longer up anymore. So I guess if they ever shut down the Double Dragon server, I would hopefully assume that the game will still work on my Switch, because oftentimes that's not something I would play online.
Yeah, I mean, I just know that, I can play Call of Duty online
Yeah,
right now, but if my internet's out, I can't even access the campaign.
yeah, and that's
That's
another.
that's silly.
Yeah, 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 and that's crazy. And then I feel like there is a retro market, right? There is a market for nostalgia. Wouldn't it be smart to have like a backup or a contingency? But I understand that it costs money to keep servers running, doing things like that.
hmm
You figure they would, seeing that how like nostalgia is big and huge, they would have like a contingency plan or something like that.
I just think if I throw down $60 or 70, it's like $70 is really the standard now
Yeah,
for a AAA title. If I'm throwing down $70, I should have that. I should have access
yeah,
to that game indefinitely. There's
yes,
I paid the
yeah,
money, like in the old days. Like, we have our old, consoles, we have our old Super Nintendos. Like, those games will work if
yeah,
you blow into the
yeah,
cartridge. It should work.
yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, as long as we forked over the money, we should have indefinite access. They should have built that into the business model
Oh
from
yeah.
the start. That's the problem.
Because that was this assumption of mine. Hey, I bought this game.
Right.
And it's like, nah.
It's like, oh, we didn't sell, we sold under, we projected we were going to sell, 5 million copies, in 6 months we sold, 10,000 and we're going to shut down the game. That's not cool. Like,
No.
I still paid money.
It feels like a money grab. We got you.
Yeah.
Right.
So, Orphan Prodigy, if there was a game that you could immerse, or world or game world that you could immerse yourself in, was it like Radio Player One, Game Player One?
hmm
Ready Player One. Yeah. Ready Player
Yeah.
One.
What world would it be?
Like, in terms of a narrative, like a show like that.
hmm
Yeah. Like what game would you like? Hey, I'm all in virtual.
Oh man, I think it would probably be. I mean, right now it would probably be like Call of Duty. I know it sounds terrible. It sounds like it sounds terrible, but I just think there's just such a like I said, the immersion is just there. It's just if we
Right.
could take that next step and just like kind of, I don't know. I'm not like I don't love the VR stuff. I'm not like a huge fan of that yet. I don't think it's quite there,
Yeah.
but
Right.
there's like a, wearing a, it's just not, I don't know. It's just the peripheral it's like, it's heavy on your face. But I think the next step is kind of making the living room feel like you're in the game. I do what I can. I have surround sound. I have the 4K OLED. I try, I put a lot of time and effort into my setup, but,
Bless you.
Gesundheit.
You know what you just made me think of? Do you guys remember in the middle of COVID And I wonder where this went now. It's kind of like came and went, but Meta had moved to like, yo, we're doing virtual office. And they had like the
Hmm.
whole thing of like the virtual office and the
Yeah,
headset.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I wonder where that went now, because now they're like, everybody come back to work, come back into
Right.
the office. That's what you made me think of. Because I thought like, man, that might be the future. And nah, come back to the office.
Well, it's funny because like a lot of people actually ended up. Well, a lot of my friends ended up not going back into the office. They ended up kind of like I don't like a lot of therapists, for instance, chose to like work from home, keep that model. My wife is a therapist. She's she chose to just say like why go back to the office? There's gas money involved. There's what's the point? It's just so much easier. And
Hmm.
so it makes sense to then, get a key light, get a microphone, and get a
Right.
camera. And so I don't know, but and then again, like the gaming industry was booming during COVID.
Yeah. All of that. I mean, you could go in Walmart and you can buy one game system, even retro. Everything was gone.
I was lucky on the day the Xbox Series X came out. You had to keep hitting refresh. You add it to your cart and then it will be out of your cart, and you have to keep adding it because people are trying to
Yeah.
get it. And I got so lucky. I don't know how it happened. I got it. I was able to get it and check out. You had to type in your card information as fast as you can and just check out. And I was able to secure it. But
So hold up, man.
I have a day
That's
one
funny.
console.
It's funny. You like it's in my cart, but no, we're gonna
Yeah,
next bidder.
yeah.
That
Because
is
people
insane.
are getting faster. People
Damn.
are.
That
Yeah, it was
reminds me,
nuts.
I had bought these like retro Chuck Taylors. They're like black leather, black on black, and I
That's
never
sick.
had this happen before. I had got the confirmation, and all of a sudden, my order was canceled like the next day, and I'm like, what happened? I got money in my, in the bank. They ran out. They ran out. So, with that being said, what do you think is the future of gaming? Like we talked about the Steam Deck. What is the next evolution? Like we were talking earlier with the Switch 2 and the Pro.
Yeah, I think you asked me earlier something in the beginning of the conversation, kind of in this realm, and I think the future of gaming, and I think Microsoft in particular is handling it pretty well. There's obviously this rumor of this hybrid PC console hybrid thing. I think that's what's going to happen. I think you're going to start to see. I think Sony will sort of do something similar eventually. I don't know how soon, but in terms of like console couch gaming, I think it's going to turn into more like you're going to have a top tier kind of model where there's, probably closer to eight, 700 to 800, $900. That's kind of like a premium experience. And then you're going to have something a little more affordable. And that's what Xbox did last time with the Series X and the Series S. And I think you're going to start to see that model sort of be adopted by other companies as well, like Sony. That would be my prediction.
Yeah, because it's like we see the prices going up. Like I was telling with Orphan Project, I was like, man, the price of the Switch 2, and then it's like, oh, it's in this little box.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
And I remember like back in the day, like the Genesis was like 150, that was a big deal.
Yeah.
And now we're like $600-700 in.
Yeah, and that was a nice
Yeah.
size box the Genesis was in back then too, and the Super
Yeah.
Nintendo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I mean, I looked at the retail price for the N64 and it was like, I think it was like 250 back. No, I'm sorry. Actually, it was like, it was probably like, was it $400? What
For
did,
this
I'm just
for the
curious what it
for the
retailed
Nintendo
at.
64?
Yeah, the retail
Nah,
price.
I think it probably would have been something like 199 to 250 back in 95.
So the retail price, oh, I'm sorry. So it's equivalent to around $400 today, but
Yeah.
it launched at 199.
Okay.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that we've come that far. I mean, like Mark even said, like it's just
Yeah.
$600-700 for a console is nuts.
Which was so funny is like that's 30 years ago did that come out.
Yeah,
Was it
yeah,
95, 96? Yeah.
yeah, 90, yeah,
And then we didn't even worry about memory. It was like cartridge, and then like,
yeah.
oh, disc holds more memory. But
Yeah.
now, like when I was researching the Switch 2, I was like, oh, this is how much memory it has. But then it's like, how many games will that last until I need to buy an SD card? Or even now
Yeah.
when you look, it's like, oh man, this is like 30 gigabytes.
Right.
For a game.
The games themselves are like, I mean, Call of Duty by itself is like 150 gigabytes. It's
Good
ridiculous.
God.
The
yeah.
file size is like just
That's like
insane.
that's half your system.
That's
You know
half the
what's so,
console right there.
you know what's so funny is like I look at whenever I'm looking at video games online, I'm looking at memory like I'm counting calories. Like, okay,
Right.
this game is 21 gigabytes. You know, it's like I'm not buying that. But no, but
I don't have
mean,
space.
Yeah,
It's like, what game can I not lose the game?
Right. I'm gonna have to sacrifice. I don't know.
oh, man, I gotta
Either
think
Ninja Gaiden 1 or 2. Which one's it gonna be?
and I was like, well, what game had not played in about a year? And I was going through, and I'll still be like, I'm not erasing that. And of course, ultimately, I'm gonna go buy another memory stick.
Storage. Yeah, exactly.
So it's like, it's crazy, man, how, like, if we, like you said, 30 years ago to now. But ladies and gentlemen, this has been another great episode. And Orphan Prodigy, thank you for being on Deeper Than Music and now on 40-something Gamers.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me.
Any parting words or like, hey, guys, you can find me on Discord, Twitch, or...
Yeah, man. Check me out on YouTube at Orphan Prodigy, Twitch at Orphan Prodigy, Instagram at Orphan Prodigy, Facebook Orphan Prodigy Music, and that's about it.
And Sharon, any parting words?
Yeah, no. Hey, y'all, check me out on YouTube, Sharon. Like, I'm posting gameplay and also eat your vegetables, exercise. You know, get out, hit that sun. You know, enjoy life.
Yeah. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm online with Switch 2 now. And just want to say, like, hey, like, subscribe, catch us on YouTube, on all the streaming platforms for podcasts. Hey, leave a comment, let us know what you think, what you thought about this episode. And this is Marquivas, Sharon, and Orphan Prodigy signing off for another
Thanks,
great
guys.
episode of 40-something Gamers.
Thanks, guys.